Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Profit Plays YouTube channel. Today is Monday, September 23rd, and I'm back breaking down one of the two Monday night games that we're going to get to watch on Monday night. We're going to be looking at the Commanders going up against the Bengals for this video. The other video is going to be on the members page. We're also going to be looking at a couple player props, one from the Commanders game, one from that Buffalo game. If you guys enjoy the content, please sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe to the channel below. Hope everybody enjoys their Monday, and let's break down some ball. All right, guys, here's the recap graphic. The Saints game's over. The Panthers game's still going. I shouldn't have put a green, but I did because they're up 36 to 14 or something like that in the fourth quarter. So they're going to win. Seattle's going to beat Miami. Rams and Niners in a tough game, 24-17, I believe, right now in the fourth quarter. Falcons tonight going up against the Chiefs. Marvin Harrison Jr. still playing. I think he has 40 receiving yards, something like that, maybe a little bit more. Haven't checked it in a little bit, but they're in the fourth quarter against the Lions down, so maybe that one hits. Tyler Johnson, over 35 and a half receiving yards going up against the Niners. Hasn't been on the field a lot. Stafford missed him for a touchdown, would have hit the prop right there. But I don't know how it's going to end there. And then Adam Thielen, beautiful touchdown. Andy Dalton slinging the ball today. Caught the touchdown, hurt his hammy, put him at 40 receiving yards right before the half. They're up by so much that they didn't have to put him back out there. He decided to sit the rest of the game. He finished with 40 receiving yards. So that one is going to be a loser. We had the over 40.5. So that's a tough way to lose. But here's the updated leaderboard from last Thursday night. Haven't updated it from Sunday because the games are not over yet. But we're going to take a look at Monday's game. We're going to be looking at the Cincinnati Bengals going up against the Washington Commanders. I really do like two Monday Night Football games. I like the setup. It feels like something crazy is going to happen. It's just more football on our TV. Anytime that can happen, that's a good thing. We're going to be breaking down the Cincinnati Bengals in this game. I'm going to take them minus 7.5 to get their first win of the season. I do want to touch on the NFC East just a little bit. This might be one of the worst divisions of football, even though the Giants did get a win yesterday. The Eagles, they found a way to win against the Saints yesterday. But I think I can confirm the Dallas Cowboys, they're a dumpster fire this season. I don't think they're a very good team. I didn't think they were like amazing this season, but I thought we'd make the playoffs. It doesn't look like we're a playoff team. I'm not sure what to think. I'm not sure to think what the Commanders are either, though. The defense, they've looked really bad. They got dominated against the Buccaneers in week number 1. They looked pretty good against the Giants in week number 2. They still allowed 3 touchdowns on that defensive side. The Giants, they lost that game because they didn't have a kicker, couldn't kick field goals, couldn't get extra points. So the NFC East, they might be the worst division of football, and I like that continue in this game because the Bengals, they're going to dominate this team. I think we're going to see the Bengals look their best they've looked all season long. They looked pretty good against the Kansas City Chiefs for the majority of that game until the fourth quarter. They looked horrible in the first game, but they did improve in the second game going up against the Chiefs. We're going to see this offense put up 30-plus points, I believe. The Commanders' defense, they do have a lot of gaps in that secondary from what we've seen so far. From that Giants game, they did score 3 touchdowns on them. So if you're letting the Giants score 3 touchdowns on you, you got some problems. And then Baker Mayfield obviously looked really good in that first game as well. I do think we're going to see the Commanders put up a fight, though. I think Jane Daniels might be the real deal. He does need to get a little bit better in the pocket and throw the ball down the field, but you can't take away his legs one or 2 weeks into the season because that's all he's known. That's how he was in LSU. That's how he's going to be in the NFL for the first couple of weeks. His first instinct right now, I think, is to just take off and run, which I think he plays his best football like that. But as an organization, you probably don't want to see that. You want to see him make some reads in the pocket. He has looked pretty good over the first 2 weeks. We should see the Commanders put up somewhat of a fight here, but the Bengals are going to outscore them 30-plus points. Like I said, they're probably extremely pissed off about that Chiefs game, blowing it late in that game, then another controversial call with the referees, even though I didn't think it was a bad call. They haven't won a game this season. This is going to be the one that turns their entire season around. People are going to talk about them as a potential Super Bowl team in a couple weeks again. The Bengals, they're a good team. I'm going to take them minus 7.5 as the play. Let's move on to the player props. We're going to be looking at one for this game, one for the Buffalo Bills game. This game is going to be Jamar Chase for the Bengals, over 80.5 receiving yards going up against the Commanders. Before I talk about the numbers for Jamar Chase in this game, I did go back, look at the receivers for the first games going up against the Commanders. We had Tampa Bay and we had the Giants. They had 3 different players. The Buccaneers did have 60-plus yards against this secondary. Chris Godwin had himself 83 yards. The running back, Rashid White, had himself 75 yards out of the backfield. And then Mike Evans, the GOAT, 61 yards. And then Baker Mayfield obviously had the 4 touchdowns in the game against the Giants. They also couldn't stop the pass. Wide receiver 1, Malik Neighbors, the rookie, had himself 10 catches, 127 yards, and a touchdown. So we should see Jamar Chase have a good game. Jamar Chase was extremely good 2 seasons ago. Last season, he kind of took a dip in production. This season, he kind of turned himself into a diva. It's a lot of complaining on the field, a lot of talking about getting a contract, which I understand. You got to make your money. I understand that, but he needs to get himself back to playing good football. He was one of the best players on the field a couple years ago. Not sure anymore. He needs to get back to that kind of level. this team, they struggle without his production, and Joe Burrow also struggles without him. The Commanders, over the first 2 games, they have let the number 1 wide receiver dominate them. It should be no different in this game. I expect him to put up a big number. Give me Jamar Chase over 80.5 receiving yards against the Commanders defense. For the second play, we're looking at the Jaguars going up against the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to take Travis Etienne in this one, over 50.5 rushing yards going up against Buffalo. The Jaguars so far this season, they look really bad, but I do think they can find a way to get some yards on the ground in this game. The Buffalo Bills so far this season, they've been pretty good defensively. They were really good against the Miami Dolphins defensively, especially in the secondary. Even before the injury to Tua, they were really good in that first half, shutting him down, and they only allow 179 yards per game through the year. We really haven't seen anything impressive, though, out of Trevor Lawrence this season, and we really haven't seen a lot out of the Jags and Travis either. But Buffalo on the year, they're giving up 131.5 rushing yards per game to opposing teams on the ground. The Jaguars have not been able to keep drives going this season. They haven't had a lot of drives that have gone the length of the field. They haven't finished a lot of these drives with touchdowns, but in this game, I think they can find a way to lean on the running game just a little bit. Let Travis eat up front going up against the Buffalo Bills. He has had 13-plus carries in both games so far. He's had 45-plus yards rushing in both games. So this line does feel a little bit low, especially going up against one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL so far that we've seen. I'll take Travis here. Over 50.5 rushing yards as the play. Let's go over to the recap graphic. We're going to be taking the Bengals, minus 7.5, kind of like the team total over here as well. I think it's going to be like 25.5, maybe 24.5 going up against Commanders. Like the team total over as well, but I'm just going to take the minus 7.5. We have Jamar Chase over 80.5 receiving yards against Commanders, and then Travis Etienne over 50.5 rushing yards against the Buffalo Bills. Guys, it's going to do it for the NFL plays and props for Monday, September 23rd slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.